Hi, my name's Karen E. Wells and welcome to Module 1 on this Writing for Children course. Now, as we move through these video modules, you should also note that there is the in-depth training manual that you would have had access to by now. So make sure that you've downloaded that or printed it off, and you can work through that as a reference as we move through these video modules. Now, at the time of recording, there's an issue with the Udemy app, which means that unfortunately it's not allowing anybody that's using the app to download the PDF. Now, this isn't an issue at all. You can try a standard desktop computer or simply just drop us an email and we'll send you the PDF, so no problems there at all. But it is imperative and really important that you begin to just work through that training manual, because it's going to give you a lot more information than the video modules that I work you through or that Joe works you through at the end of the course. So, having covered that, let's look at Module 1, which is all about the starting point. So, if you're looking at the starting point for writing for children, you've got to really think about the age that you want to write for. You've got to think about the genre. You've got to start to think about the plot and the storylines and the language that you're going to use to bring about something that can be successful in this field of writing. This video is going to turn into some slides now, so we'll move more in depth into Module 1, and I will see you at the end of this module. Okay, so Module 1 is all about the starting point. Many people dream of writing a book, and in particular they're drawn to writing books for children. It could be that they've created stories for their own children and may have read many books aloud to them, so they believe they must know what makes for a good children's book. People can also make the mistake of thinking it must be easier to write a children's book rather than to write a novel, which is aimed at the adult market, but these creative dreams are often dashed once the would-be author discovers that writing a children's book is actually very difficult. If you've studied the children's book market and know somebody within the publishing industry or know other children's book authors, then you'll have a better grounding of what's required. If you don't have any insider knowledge, don't worry, consider this course an introduction to the world of children's publishing. We're going to help you to carve out your own journey towards publication by taking you through the basics of book formats, storytelling techniques, learning how to create a productive writing environment, and how to revise the manuscript once it's completed, and how to get it published. So your brain might be buzzy with creative ideas, and you might be longing to start the whole creative writing process. But before you do, it's important to figure out the type of children's book that you want to write. After all, manuscripts are published in a variety of tried and tested formats, although new formats are developed on an annual basis. Format also details whether you're looking at a hardcover, a soft cover, or whether you're looking to publish as an ebook or even an app. When you're researching your market, you need to consider the genre too, so that you have a clear perspective on style and tone. This is going to form the start of your successful publishing venture. So writing requires a great deal of dedication, practice and enthusiasm. It can help if you can create a special writing zone that encourages you to write. So your creative pursuits must also fit into everyday life. It's about sticking to a writing schedule. Otherwise, any missed sessions can lead towards feelings of frustration and a distinct lack of motivation. You've got to consider your writing space and to find one for you that inspires you. You need to become a storyteller. So this might be something that you do naturally, and if you have children, you might have relished reading out personally written stories which were met with great enthusiasm. If not, then the aspect of storytelling might take a little bit longer to develop. It's important to know that the plot has to be strong and engaging. The story must have a beginning, a middle and an end. Dialogue must be written in a natural way and not enforced, as children have an innate sense of knowing when dialogue has not been written correctly. So in essence, you have to have a very clear perspective as to what you wish to achieve before starting. So you've committed to the writing process, you're happy with your manuscript. It's time for the revision and the editing process. This is where you expand on the characters, the plot line is sharpened, you look at the pace and whether it's consistent and whether it's going to naturally lead the reader through the story. There's a lot more information within the training manual as well. So we're going to encourage you to read and review back to that as we move through these video modules.